It's known to inmates as Doncaster, a closed prison for Category B offenders, including some who are here for life. The prison, run by Serco, works hard to cut reoffending rates. It's part of their contract. That means offering a range of services to help prisoners leave and not come back. There are more than 1,000 offenders here at Doncaster Prison, 30 of them veterans, held in single or double cells. Now, there are rehabilitation schemes available for everyone here at the prison, but veterans in custody get their own special group, where they can meet to vent steam, share stories, or get real practical advice on things such as jobs, housing, or reintegration into the community. The number of former service personnel here is roughly in line with the number of veterans in prison nationwide. The Veterans in Custody scheme runs at 4 of them. It's made possible by voluntary sector partner Catch-22, who saw the need for the service. Tristan is serving 6 years for conspiracy to supply Class A and B drugs. He was discharged from his officer training course for medical reasons. He has asthma, and he turned to crime.
I retrained to be a teacher. So I did 2 years teacher training, and then at the end of that teacher training I had a life-changing thing with an ex-girlfriend that happened. She got pregnant and decided not to have it, and I went off the rails. I got involved with drugs.
But the Veterans in Custody scheme has given him a lifeline to cling on to.
If you come into prison, it can be a scary experience, and often you don't have anything in common with other people. And so you're on the wing and you feel isolated, maybe lonely. And for veterans in custody to pick people up at the reception stage, induction, and for them to point you to a group where there are other people that have shared the same things as you, that have been through the same things as you, it's a fantastic thing.
This prisoner, who we can't identify, is serving 5 months for ABH, actual bodily harm. He turned to violence after a tour of duty in Iraq.
I don't know if it was the buzz I was missing, the adrenaline rush of being on tour and stuff like that, but when I came back I don't know, I got so angry over little things, and I enjoyed fighting stupidly, and ended up getting in trouble for fighting, and that's what I'm here for.
He says going to the group helps him cope with flashbacks of his time in service.
When I was in Iraq the first time, we had a jail on our camp, and we used to run the jail there for insurgents and stuff like that, and me coming to a place like this, it brings back a lot of memories of them things like that.
The Veterans in Custody scheme is mentored by former forces personnel and hosts visits from military charities such as SAFA and the Royal British Legion. They offer support and practical advice for when the veterans leave prison.
If they're either still serving or civilians, they would probably be involved in some group which in some way provide them some comradeship. You know, regimental associations, things like that. Of course, when you're in prison, there's none of that.
The prison set up the scheme in 2012, following a rise in the number of veterans arriving here. Staff here tell me they're preparing for another possible rise in those numbers, following drawdown in Germany and Afghanistan. That could mean more offenders doubling up in cells and an addition to the prison buildings. More veterans will mean more challenges.
Some of the difficulties are the more ones that come to light, and the fact they don't really want to advertise the fact they're ex-forces. A lot of that can be the stigmatism around the ex-forces, what they did, where they worked. It's a multi-disciplinary place. You've got all sorts of races and religions in here. So you've got the aspect of working alongside or being alongside Muslim prisoners and the effect that has on Afghanistan, places like that.
There's some evidence that the Veterans in Custody scheme is working out. Last year, the Royal British Legion reported that of 70 prisoners they'd helped after being released from Doncaster, they were aware of only 1 having reoffended. But the scheme is still reliant on volunteers. They're hoping for government funding for a paid coordinator so the group can continue. That could mean veterans who once served their country will not have to serve as much time in the future. Victoria Smith, Forces News, Doncaster.